Alright, there we go, second part. So for the first one, I guess I ran out of time. My phone doesn't have that long. Well, anyways, no, so it ended up, what was that, going into ground control. I was there for about a month and a half, almost 2 months, on a free trial before they actually, like, started talking about stuff. And that's what, I guess I kind of liked. I mean, I didn't try to take advantage of them. I just kind of, like, lost track of it. And then, Keith, the purple belt, was there. He came up. He was like, "Hey, man," he was like, did you sign up yet?" And John was like, "No, no." I was like, and then I didn't have any money at the time. And I told Keith, I was like, "Look," I was like, "I really want to train, but I don't have the money yet. I can get it. I can get it in about 2 weeks." And Keith was like, "That's fine. Just wait 2 weeks, then, and then we'll go ahead and sign you up." I was like, "All right, cool." So then, and I mean, when I first signed up at ground control, I mean, I was literally there. I trained twice a week, or I trained twice a day if I could. For the most part, I did twice a day, and even in between when there were no classes, I mean, I was there working out. I would show up, and Keith and I would roll. Keith would teach me things, and I mean, I came in, it was like the part like I said, how I had a general base. Like I knew how to throw in triangle chokes, but I didn't know how to technically set them up. I knew what it looked like. I didn't know how to like create the angle on it or how to squeeze properly. I just knew kind of just throw it up there. I knew I needed a head and the arm, and then how to lock my legs. That was it. And it was like I guess I kind of I grew from there. And well, on top of that, it's like I don't even know. I'm just talking right now. But well, yeah, I guess I've been training overall, I guess, at ground control. I've been about a year and 3 months, a year and 4 months, I think a year and 3 months, something like that. And then, but I guess if you want to say overall, maybe is that 3 years, 4 years that I've been around jiu-jitsu, but I mean, I don't consider all the other stuff. I trained 2 classes at McGill's, 1 class at 88, and then looking at YouTube, but strictly out of a gym, about a year and 3 months. And I got my blue belt in less than a year. And but I mean, like when I first signed up at ground control, I was like I said, I was training 2 days a week or 2 times a day, and I did that for actually I did that pretty much I've done it the entire time ever since I signed up at ground control. I mean, I immediately fell in love with it, and it's like I said, how it's something that just seems like it just fits you well, and it's like that's what you were born to do, and it's like I guess it was like when I first came in. And I did my first competition, and I took third in my first competition. I was, I don't know, man. It was just something I just fell in love with. It's just being on the mats, just being there, it calmed me down. With me being in the depressed state that I was at the time, with like the girl that I was with breaking up, everything going on with like the Marine Corps and my job, my father, and like it made me happier at the time. Like everything that getting on the mat, like everything just went away. But it's like it's like you ever hear these things like, "Oh, I owe you my life." People say to other people like, "Oh my God, you saved my life. I owe you everything." Well, that's kind of like how I feel towards jiu-jitsu, is because like Brazilian jiu-jitsu is because like like I said, I was depressed and everything. I mean, it completely changed me. Like I mean, it changed the way even the way I eat, just because of competition. The way I eat, the way I stretch more, made me more flexible. I used to have tons of knee injuries and knee problems. I mean, it pretty much cured up all those just with the flexibility that it gave me. I mean, it made me more happy. It makes you just think more about life. It makes you think about things differently. Like one thing that I always tell my students that I'm teaching now, and it's like I always use this kind of analogy. And it's like in jiu-jitsu, when somebody's mounted you, that's a real bad bad position. You don't want nobody mounted you, but it's not the end of the world. But like somebody mounting you is like you losing your job in the real world. So it's like somebody mounts you, you lose your job. Or are you gonna sit there when you lose your job and complain and bitch about it and waste all that time and sit on your ass on unemployment or whatever for fucking 2 months? No. To be successful and to go out there, the minute you got fired from your job or you got let go or you lost your job, you go out and you go look for another job, right? So it's like that's what you get to. When you get mounted, you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I got mounted. Oh no, man." No, you can't do that. You get mounted. First thing you gotta think is, "Okay, how am I gonna get out of mount?" Okay, cool. So then you just got into half guard. All right, half guard, not bad. But now I need to do a little bit better. Half guard is like you getting a job or you getting interviews, right? And then you get the full guard. Full guard, you got a job. You're not really paid too much, but you got food for you. You got food for you, right? Well, it's like now you go and you swept them. Now you're in mount, right? So now you're in mount. You got some more money. You got a place to stay. You got a little car. You're good. But we want to keep going. You don't want to just settle for what you can get. You want to keep going. You want to get as much as you can get. You want to get out of it. You want to get everything that you earn. So it's like you're in mount. Now you throw an arm lock and you submit the guy. Now that you just submit them, that's you becoming successful. That's you overcoming all the difficulties that there is in life. And that's like the analogy that, that's the way like you use jujitsu thinking in life. So it's not just jujitsu teaches you how to, defend yourself or how to fight and all that. It's not even that, because that's the small picture of jujitsu. Jiu-Jitsu just shows you, how to live your life, how to deal with everything that happens. To know that, like, there's tons of like motivational quotes. And one of my favorite motivational quotes that when I was at boot camp in the medical platoon that I used to go by. I don't know, and I mean, I'm sure this isn't word for word. I heard something similar to it, and then I kind of just wrote it down how I thought I heard it, and it was in there. But it was like minute to minute, hour to hour, week to week, Sunday to Sunday, and it's like, no matter what happens in life, time is always going to continue to tick. Time is never going to wait for you. It's always going to keep going. So whether you waste your time or whether you use that time wisely, it's all on you. And it's like, you can't sit there and, girl breaks up with you. You can't sit back and cry and be like, oh man, this sucks. My life's over with. I want to kill myself. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do anything. No. It's life, because whether you sit there or not, guess what? The next day is still going to come. Morning is still going to come the next day. Night is still going to come the next night. No matter what, that time is going to keep going. That's what jiu-jitsu has changed for me, is the way you think about things. The way you conduct yourself. And it also, like, it gives you so much confidence. It's ridiculous. Like, I used to never look people in the eyes when I talk. Now it's like, I go up to them and you just look straight at me. Hey, what's up? Shake their hand firm and everything. It's like, and it's not that not that you think that you can beat their ass or anything. It's just that you feel more comfortable with yourself. And that's what most people's problem in America is. It's not that they're not comfortable with themselves, but they don't know their weaknesses. In jiu-jitsu, you're forced to identify your weaknesses. In jiu-jitsu, it forces you to know what you're bad at. It lets you know how easy you can get your ass whooped. It lets you know all this thing. It wakes you up to reality and what reality really is. Because in the real world, people can run away from their, from the things they suck at. People can be like, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm going to run away from it. Oh, I suck at school, I'm not going to go to school anymore. Oh, I suck at this thing. They can do all this shit. Oh, I don't like this job, I want to leave for that. Oh, this girl's cheating on me, I'm leaving, People can run away from all these problems that they have. Oh, this guy, I don't like this person, I'm not going to be friends with him. In jiu-jitsu, if you train jiu-jitsu, you can't run away from it. If you suck at half guard, your half guard's huge. You're always going to be in half guard. For the majority of the part, you're always going to be in half guard somewhere. Whether you're on top or bottom, you're in half guard, so you need to get better at it. You can't sit there and, you have to drill every single position in jiu-jitsu, because if you suck at being back-mounted, somebody on your back, if you don't know what to do on that, you get into a competition and do back mounties, what are you going to do? Like, you're forced to be in that, especially if you do situational drilling where somebody starts in back mount. Like, you got to work at what you suck. And, that's the only way how you get better in jiu-jitsu, is by letting people, not in competition, obviously, but inside your gym, letting people put you in a bad situation. Let that person throw in that arm lock. Let that person throw in that triangle and get out of it. See if you can get out of it. If you can't, look at why you can't and do it again. Competition's a little different. Competition, obviously you go out there to win and have fun, but it's also a learning thing too, which a lot of people get so devastated when they lose. And it's not that, because right when that, what you got to do is, I've so far at every competition I've been to, I've been on the podium. Now, I mean, I know that's not going to happen entirely yet, but it's like, I'm sure there's going to be a competition. I'm going to come there and I'm going to be eliminated first round. But for the time being, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to live it up, But then again, it's like, every competition I learn something new. Even if I took gold, even if I've taken first, it's like, somebody catches. I look at the match, even if I won, it doesn't matter. I'm still learning something. Okay, I got swept here. How did I get swept? Oh, I almost got caught in the triangle. How did I do that? Oh, I tried to do this submission. I didn't get that. And you learn out why you didn't get it, and you work on that being excellent. I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna save the next part because I think I've only got 10 seconds left. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be up on YouTube in a bit.